What's up, guys? It's Tony from Streetball Strategies, where we use strategy to build your streetball legacy. Today we're continuing our series about how to prepare for the upcoming basketball season once everybody else does get back out here. Today we're talking about how to prevent injuries. So as we discussed earlier in this series, once everybody comes back out to the court, we're going to have a lot of people, including yourself, who is going to be out of shape in terms of playing in games, competitive shape. Nobody's been competing, everybody's out of competitive shape. Also, you're going to be rusty. Everyone else is going to be rusty. You haven't played in a long time, you haven't competed in a long time, you haven't used your skills in a competitive setting in a long time, and thus you and everyone else is going to be rusty. Just those two factors by themselves could be possible cause for injury, but there's also other things we have to include in this. We also have to take into consideration the fact that I believe that once everybody does finally come back out to the court, once the rims are back up and everybody comes back out here and starts playing, it's going to be packed for a longer time than usual. Usually out here, the first few weekends of good weather for spring or summer, the court is packed. I believe that once this is all over with and everybody comes back out to the court, every day for weeks upon weeks, the court is going to be packed. So that means there's going to be more people out here more often, and just by sheer volume, just by the sheer increased number of people, means that there is an increased possibility for more injuries. Also, because people have been away from the game for so long and it's been such a long time since we've been competing, I guarantee you that the vast majority of people that come out here to the courts, at least at the very beginning, once everybody's able to come back out, those people's attitude is going to be to give full effort immediately. The whole idea is going to be, it's been so long since we've been out here and we finally get to come back. Now that we're back, it's time to bring it. It's time to bring full effort, to play as hard as you can, as soon as you can. I'm guessing the hope with that is to become acclimated faster as soon as possible once everybody gets back out here. So you're going to have a lot of people giving full effort immediately, combined with the fact that there's going to be more people out here than usual, combined with them being rusty and out of shape. Pretty much what that means is that you're going to have a lot of people trying to do too much too soon, and that is a recipe for injury disaster. So the question then becomes, how do we make sure that we get you back in competitive game shape and get rid of your rust without you getting injured? Well, there are two very simple answers to that. Number one is awareness. You need to be aware of who you're playing with and the situations in which you are playing. When I'm talking about who you're playing with, I'm talking about even if they're strangers, you can tell by watching them, you can tell by playing with them. Are they experienced? Do they know what they're doing out here? Are they aware that possible injuries are relatively higher than they have been in previous summers? Are they aware of all of that? Or are they maybe younger, maybe less experienced, and are they the typical players that I was referencing in terms of, are they trying to do too much too soon? It's important to be aware of those people and what kind of people you're surrounded by, because it's possible that if you take the idea of trying to do too much too soon, if you take that to too far of an extreme, those players can become reckless and thus dangerous. And if they're being reckless and dangerous, they're a danger to themselves as well as to you as far as injury goes. Their heart may be in the right place, they may love the game and be excited to be back out here, but if they're trying to do too much too soon, if they are putting themselves and you and everybody else out here in potentially dangerous injury situations, you need to be aware of those people. The second simple thing you can do out here to help prevent possible injury, and you're probably not going to like this, is control. By control, I mean maybe you don't have to chase down every loose ball immediately as soon as you get out here, especially if you're fighting someone for it, especially if the game isn't on the line when that loose ball happens. Maybe you don't have to dive out of bounds to get that loose ball. Or, for instance, maybe you don't have to go down in the paint and battle for every rebound immediately. Do you understand how it's going to be in terms of rebounding once you get that many people out here who are out of shape and rusty, and you have them so excited to be on the court, so excited to be competing again, and rebounds go up? You can have a ton of guys down there trying to rebound who are rusty, who are out of shape, who are not used to having rebounding footwork underneath them. And so many people are going to go up for a rebound. They're going to come down. Their footwork is going to be so rusty, so out of whack, so out of shape competitively, that so many people are going to come down from a rebound, turn their ankles by landing on someone's foot, rolling their ankles and injuring themselves. Now, obviously that's not going to happen like multiple times every game, but relative to previous summers, that's going to happen so often. So be aware of those situations. Be aware of who are going for those rebounds. What kinds of players? Are they experienced? Do they know what they're doing? Are they aware of the possible injuries? Or do they not care? Are they being reckless? Are they trying to do too much too soon? You need to have the control to avoid dangerous situations such as those. So combining the awareness of potentially dangerous and reckless players combined with having the control to avoid being in potentially dangerous and reckless situations, that's how you're going to avoid injury out here. And it's more important than ever to have that awareness and to have that control, because for the first few weeks out here, it's going to be a zoo. It's going to be unlike anything we've experienced so far out at the park. And so we're going to need to be careful in a way that we've never been before, because we are in times and situations that we've never experienced before. Believe me, I'm right with you guys when I wish that everything was as it has normally been, that we wouldn't have to have this extra awareness and this extra control to be careful on the court to avoid injury. I wish everything was as it's been in the past, but it's new times, new territory. And with that, I encourage you to proceed carefully. Be aware of who you're playing with. Be aware of the situations you're going to find yourself in, and have the control to avoid putting yourself into needlessly dangerous and hazardous situations for preventing injury. As always, thank you guys for watching. Next week we're going to continue the series with a unusual topic, I guess, for unusual times. That is why, once basketball starts up again, why winning is not your number one priority. So if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified of that future video next week when we talk about why winning isn't as important as usual when we come back on the court. So thank you guys again, and I will see you next week.
I'm living up in the hills, wine sipping with meals. I'm having major type of paper, I ain't tripping off bills. Still, show me some respect and accept my coolness, and don't mistake my kindness to mean I'm foolish.